for your enormous support for my channel. TechMaya is growing by the day, and I'm motivated to bring in more technology advancements to all of you. Thank you, and let's get into the video. Huawei has officially announced that it will be self-reliant for the mobile OS with its own Harmony OS, also called the Hongmeng OS or the Arc OS, starting 2021, leaving behind the GMS platform. This was announced in their annual Huawei Developer Conference 2020 on 10 September 2020. The beta version for the Harmony OS 2.0 is available for the developers starting 10 September 2020 for its smart TVs, watches, and car head units. Starting December 2020, they will also open up the smartphone for developers. This will eventually pave the way for having its smartphones launched from 2021 with the Harmony OS on it. So how does the scenario look like? Today's mobile OS is predominantly dominated by Android with almost 80% market share, followed by Apple iOS. Now that Harmony OS is being pushed to survive into the market, let's see how it will compete with the top giants. Huawei promises that it will not stop or pause and wants all of them to play together to make its way ahead into the competition. Now, what do we get out of this? The Harmony OS 2.0, as pronounced by Richard Wu, the CEO for consumer business Huawei, as this is a microkernel based distributed Linux based OS, and it's all scenario intelligent ecosystem. They want to drive mutually reinforcing the hardware and the software, like the app system working hand in hand with the hardware ecosystem, bringing in the HMS and the Harmony OS 2.0. It also provides cross-device compatibility, the versatility, the well-known immersive and interactive displays, as well as the privacy and security on top of it to drive this initiative. So if you look at the distributed architecture, what Huawei promises is that the smartwatches, the wearables, the tablets, the smartphones, and all other ecosystem into the IoT would be compatible, working as a unit, like one system that will have multiple screens, multiple batteries, multiple cameras integrated together to have a integrated system. Now, this is the use case which they have projected, the multi-screen collaborative classes, wherein the kid can view the classes on the smart TV while it can take notes on the tablets and still can be viewed through the smart TVs, which is really great. And if you look at the other use cases like the collaborative meeting spaces, where you have a smart TV with a whiteboard, can be handled through a smartphone or a tablet, and then simultaneously collaborative, wherein everyone can chip in and then make their viewpoints and get integrated as a unit. So which is really cool and gives a lot of economical benefits. Now coming to the consumer segment of Huawei, it's growing very fast. The smartphones, the wearable, the watches, the tablets, the notebooks, the headsets, they are either number one or 1, 2, 3 in the local as well as the international markets. Now that the HMS promises to have almost 96,000 apps into the HMS ecosystem with the help of their 1.8 million talented developers, which is being claimed by Huawei. And how these things can happen is through the HMS Core 5.0, which is a formidable and growing platform which has close to 7 technical domain, 12,981 scenario specific APIs, which is more than the JMS, has 5 IDE tool sets which can help the developers, and also having its own cutting edge technologies into communications, photography, EAI, distributed capabilities, Huawei AR maps, and graphics rendering platforms which will enable them to provide apps like in case of the GMS. Now coming to how it's compared, the share kit provided by the Harmony OS will be 80% faster. The cast kit will be having 50% lower latency. The wireless kit will be 20% faster. So that's the claim. And on the software side, it's technically great to have most of the features here. However, it has its own flips. Let's not get into that presently. Presently, if you look at the markets being stagnated by the mobile OS duopoly from Android and iOS, competition in the form of Huawei is always a welcome, and it has to do itself for its survival. But then the story is not just in software, it is more to do in the hardware, where Huawei is being cut off from getting chipsets from Samsung, MediaTek or the likes. Also that it is crippled to have its own chipsets manufactured from players like TSMC or their own local SMIC, which is really crippling it and may take it down. Added to this, the worst is that they are losing supply from the displays from LG and Samsung DDIC. However, a short while ago it started its own, but this story would be a far too long to win. And still, if you tell that it can fall back on the BOE, which is a Chinese DDIC maker, however, since the market is 90% governed by LG and Samsung, this has to fall back again with them for chips, and the pressure will actually mount on them, which is really going to be tough for Huawei to get through. Now what is the good part is that competition is always good for the consumers. Android, which has the 80% of the today's market share, has very the software updates are very lower, and it has a lot of bugs as a lot of them point to, and competition is always good. The benefits arising out of the distributed architecture can be easily seen and may be promising in the future. However, Huawei claims that one line of Harmony OS is equal to almost 100 lines of Android, which sums it up on the efficiencies and the advantages Harmony OS can benefit and bring to the table. Since it's also based on the same microkernel. However, the distributed architecture on the Linux platform will make it more flexible, more supportive. The bad news is that the odds are already highly stacked against Huawei in the form of the trade sanctions and the war which is already going on. The worst part is that, importantly, Huawei has to deal with bridging the trust deficit, which has forced many countries from officially abandoning Huawei in their 5G network plan or silently dropping or ignoring them in the 5G network plans. This would be the most toughest part to Huawei to pull this dream run, and this is going to be a very Herculean task. Now let's see how Huawei faces against competition as time goes. In case if you want more details, leave me a comment below. I will try to get more details on the same topic. Till then, thank you and have a great day.